Hello, everyone. Welcome
Hi.
to Fire Speaks, a platform that shares entrepreneurship journey. My name is Ebai Blanche. I am the host for today's episode. And with me, I have a lovely guest all the way from Cameroon. Her name is Ebai. Hello, Ebai. Welcome to the journey of Fire Speaks.
Hi, Baya. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. Yeah, so let's get started, right? It's an entrepreneurship show that talks about entrepreneurship journey. So right now we have Ebai and she wants to share her journey and also engage us into a lot of things too as well. So, Alba, kindly just tell us about your journey, about your background, about yourself, so that our listeners can also know much about you.
Okay. Thank you again for having me and thank you for the opportunity to share. My name is Ebai Blanche and I'm the executive director of Global Women Impact. It's a startup organization legalized and it aims at empowering young girls and women to be relevant in their communities. I have a background in economics and I currently work as a project manager with several years of experience in that niche.
Awesome, awesome, right? So, let's talk about your career journey as an entrepreneur. How did it all begin?
Okay, I believe entrepreneur is not just having a business. I think being an entrepreneur is a mindset, and I've always been this person with a mindset of becoming. So, first of all, with my job ventures and the places I've been able to travel, and the jobs I've been able to do, it's just my personal conviction. First, I love money, and I love to work for my money. So I would always want to do something to earn. And about my organization, that's also something that keeps me very busy. It started from a couple of things. I think I'll be able to share as this interview goes on. But the very first thing is grounded by my passion. It started from passion. And I just love doing the things I do. I just love self-developing. I just love pushing so I'll be able to become that which I seek to become.
Awesome, awesome. That sounds so impressive. Your love for money. Everyone loves money when it comes to business. Yeah, so let's talk about global women impact, right? So when
Yeah.
did you start it? What motivated you?
Okay. I legalized Global Women Impact in the year 2020. But before then, I've been doing programs. I've been partnering with other organizations to do program. But I legalized it in the year 2020. That was December. So, did you ask about the things that pushed me to start Global Women Impact?
Definitely, yeah, I did.
Okay. I found myself loving to work with young girls. I found myself being able to speak life into them. And in the community where I grew up, a lot of women are not very purpose driven. They just believe that probably after secondary school, the next step is to cohabit with a man and start giving birth. Some of them just throw their lives away. They don't even know what to do with their potentials God has deposited in them. And then the school where I went to, the university, that's Boya, I realized that a lot of young girls are really frivolous. They are living a very frivolous lifestyle. They are, instead of maximizing singlehood and instead being humble, they are doing all sort of things under the cover, just to be out there. Also, they are doing a lot of impression rather than transformation. And a lot of them are mistaking arrogance for confidence, and a lot of them are really doing terrible things. So I just felt like someone has to stand, someone needs to have a different perspective about life. And you start up something that I think people would start reading, people would start listening, and maybe a few would change their ways. Another thing that pushed me was experience. I grew up with a single mom and I know the challenges and the pressures that come with growing up with a single mother, especially one that has gone through a lot in life that has probably led to traumas, and she has not really healed from certain things, so they may want to eject their life on you and may want to correct their mistakes on you, so thereby pushing you to certain things that does not fit with your own purpose or the right things you have to do as a young lady. Another thing was, and the most important thing was inspiration from the Holy Spirit. I believe I'm called to raise women for true transformation. That's the motto of Global Women Impact. I remember taking a fast, studying the book of Ruth and the book of Esther, and then having the name Global Women Impact. That particular day, I wrote a lot in my study book, and I just had this urge to start. So I started organizing conferences. I created a page online and I started writing. And people would get to me from time to time to say, "Oh, Ma, I was blessed by this thing you wrote. I was blessed." I used my media platforms to write my ideas, to write the things I feel like these are the correct things. And so far, people have always gotten to me on how blessed they are. I adopted the name the mother woman because that's the woman I'm becoming. That's the woman I want to be. So I also organized conferences, partnered with other organizations, and we've been reaching out to so many women, and it's been just amazing.
Wow, that sounds so interesting, right? And
Oh, I said I legalized that. Yeah, but I said I legalized in 2020. Actually, I legalized in 2022. I'm sorry about that.
okay, right.
Yeah.
That sounds so interesting, and well done on the work you're doing when it comes to impacting the women and young girls as well,
Thank you.
right? Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
talk about your starting up, right? So was it very so easy for you? Were there any risks you took when starting up? Do you have any challenges? A lot of people do have challenges when it comes to starting up a business. So what were some of your challenges you took or you faced?
Okay. So, actually, I don't think there's anyone who doesn't face challenges with starting up. I think even the richest man on earth has faced several challenges with starting up. It's always very difficult to start. You have the fear of the unknown, you have some challenges. But one thing I always say is when you have that conviction about where you're going to, you have the conviction about the God who sent you. You have you have the conviction, it's your vision, you have the blueprint, and you're like, I'm going to get here. I don't know how, but I believe that if I start, God is going to lead me because it is His will, so it is His bill. If He sends me, He's definitely going to provide the resources. So when starting, trust me, I didn't even have like the next plan. I didn't have the next plan. I just wanted to start doing something, you see. I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the material resources. I didn't have the human resources. I didn't have the financial resources. But I remember that when I started, right, I think just a few weeks later, a friend of mine, he was actually my classmate. I think that was when he just started his graphic designing journey. He just got to me. He was like, any design you want, right? I'm going to produce it for you. Until today, he's
Wow.
my graphic designer. It was just very amazing because this person would do very good graphic designs for me. I'll just explain a program to him because I was all over the place. Remember, I didn't know the next plan. It wasn't very clear. I just had the start. Blanche, you have to start. I remember getting to so many people, and some people ignored me, you see. Some people were just like, some people encouraged me, some people ignored me, some people didn't take me serious, some people gave me blue ticks, you see. So this particular friend, I mean, he got to me. I think he's been following my status, just my WhatsApp status. And he was like, if you want any designs, I'm going to do it for you. Until today, he's my graphic designer. He does really good designs. Even if I offer to pay him, he doesn't want to take it. I'm like, oh God, this is just you. Now, one thing with the Lord is he doesn't give you the full vision. He just wants you to see the end. And then he wants you to start right. And through the process, he's going to lead you as long as you let him hold your hand, you see. So so that's the very first challenge I had starting. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know, you see. But when I launched the first ever flyer, I think the name of that program was, that was after months of me posting on social media. Then there was no AI even. This AI trend, it wasn't there. So I would do my research, I would do a little write-up, I would post, people would comment, you know. Aside from the fact that I was posting on my personal handle, but that was just about me. But then I was like, I want to start posting to impact other ladies. So when I did my very first program, I realized that some people took this flyer and posted on their page. Some people didn't even know my name, posted on their page. I was like, God. And my first ever program, I had 21 participants. You see, I don't know what I was saying. Speakers came. I didn't have money. I spent on that program. But those 21 participants, it meant a whole lot to me. And I'm one person that if ideas come, I try to execute as long as God has said go. Another challenge I've always had is funding. I've not really had funders. I've not really had sponsors, except some very good Samaritans who would get to me once in a while. Oh, I'm sponsoring these two persons for this activity you want to do. I'm doing this. I'm going to send you this. Some people too don't keep to their promises. I've not really had funders, but I would take my pay. I would take my salary. This is something that is like my bloodline. You see, it's like my blood. It's like something that goes through my vein. And I will do my programs. Because what really matters to me is the impact. What really matters to me is the transformation these people would receive after attending. And the testimonies and reviews have always been great.
Wow, awesome. Awesome. Now let's talk about spirituality, mentioning God, right? So let's so how does it work? When it comes to spirituality, how does it fuel businesses or part of them or vision? When it comes to God and businesses.
Okay, that's a good question. Well, um, it's rather preferable to not be religious, but actually be a Christian. Now, what I'm saying is, I don't know how I should put this, but some people are very religious. They're not actually Christians. The Bible says that the Lord has given us power to create wealth, you see. So we already have that power. Power is the ability to do work. We just need to put that power into manifestation to create the things He wants us to create. Also, we still need to ask Him, Lord, what do you want me to do? Okay. So it's not just about sitting down and you feel like a miracle would happen. No. Or you don't prepare yourself and you're waiting for something you should know. When preparation meets an opportunity, then there is a breakthrough, right? So I had to say this because a lot of people are like, oh, God will come down to get me customers. God will come down to get me clients. God will come down to get the women. Spirituality in its part, for me, it plays its own role in that. God tells me, okay, I want you to do this program. Okay. He gives me the idea. Now, on my part, I have to market my program. The character I have portrayed will determine if people will want to attend my program or not. Just because he has given me a vision does not mean I'll be arrogant or I'll be rude. Okay? No. I'll still be humble. I'll treat people good so that they are motivated. They see the Christ in me and they know that if they are attending this program, you understand, they really have a good cause to attend. So the marketing is on me. The business strategy is on me. Getting my clients is on me. Getting the participants is on me. But he gives the idea. And wherever I am stuck, I always go back to say, Lord, what next? You understand? He has given me the power to create wealth, but then I can always ask his opinion. So that's how spirituality plays its part in my life, you see. But you also need to always be prepared. You need to be prepared. You need to keep self-developing. You need to be prepared so as the opportunity comes, then there is a breakthrough.
Wow, as opportunity comes and there's a breakthrough. So it's a nice thought, right? Food for thoughts for businesses, right? So I believe every entrepreneurs who are into business should to take that in when starting out their business or doing any business transaction for interventions. So let's talk about your biggest wins, right? Let's talk about some of your wins, when it comes to some of your moments. So Were there any time when you felt like you made it, you've gotten there, you don't feel like pushing further? Do you have any, biggest wins?
Oh, wait, are you asking if I had any time where I gave up or I felt like I didn't want to do this?
No. So I'm asking about your wins, right? You started out,
Okay.
it's about winning part. So what are some of your wins?
Oh, all right. And last year we received our very first award as promoters of SDG 5 and SDG 10 from the National Council of Local Organizers. That was a great win for me. I've been able to publish my first book, Speak to Inspire, Understanding the Art of Speaking and Commanding the Stage, because I failed to mention that I'm also a professional speaker and I've organized conferences to hone the confidence of young ladies by teaching them the art and the skill of public speaking. I I've had awards, I've had recommendations, I've been able to speak in different conferences, and the testimonies have been amazing. I was also the winner of a national public speaking competition. That's a Jingdong lifted national public speaking competition in my country. That was last year. Great. So that was also a great platform for me. I also think my presence on the media, a lot of people have known me through what I'm doing, and most of the jobs and the gigs I've had has been through recommendation. Yes. So those are wins for me. I've been able to go into places, meet people just because of what I'm doing. So yeah, those are all wins for me.
Wow, wow, that's a lot of recognitions. Wow. Yeah, so let's talk about your book. So you made mention of your book. So can you tell us
Yeah.
more about it? Yeah, tell us more about your book.
Okay. It's a book that teaches on public speaking. It's titled Speak to Inspire, Understanding the Art of Speaking and Commanding the Stage. Now, I believe that speaking is not just your ability to speak eloquently or fluently. You must speak with a purpose and with a motive, and that motive should be transformation. I also feel like I said, speaking is not just being eloquent. Speaking on its own is a niche if you understand how to speak, where to speak, to whom to speak, and what to speak. So speaking is also a career. I feel like everyone should know how to communicate effectively. Communicating effectively on its own is an art. So my book covers all of that. It explains how to do all of that, how to boost your confidence, how to overcome stage fright. Yeah, that's it about the book.
Wow, lovely, nice. So where can we get it? So where can we get your book?
All right, for now, I have just the hard copy. If someone wants a soft copy, you can get to me on WhatsApp to send. I've not been able to download it on or rather, I'm sorry, I've not been able to upload it on Amazon or any online platform, but I intend to do that. So now if somebody wants like a soft copy, I can probably send a PDF, or I just send you a hard copy if you're around.
All right, all right. So no, so let's talk about your, some of your weakest moments, in businesses. Were there a moment where you almost gave up and you felt like, oh, I'm done. I'm not interested in pushing up anymore, right? So,
Yeah.
tell us about the weakest moment.
Well, giving up is a normal thing, eh? Though a lot of people want to claim like they're too strong. Sometimes I give up today and the next morning I just have to motivate myself, because there are times that we don't have anybody around us to motivate us. But then, how do we stop? Something will just be pushing you. Please do it. Do it. Do it. So yeah, there are several times I've given up. I I don't know. People have misjudged me. So you get those societal pressures a lot, and you just want to, I'm not going to do this again. What sort of nonsense is this? I'm putting myself on the line and people are saying all of this. But then I cannot stop for anything. There are times where you get a lot of constraints, especially financially, and you don't know how to invest. Like, you don't even know what to do at that particular point. You feel like giving up. Sometimes you even face a loss, you feel like giving up. You see, sometimes you invest so much probably in a program, and you get to face the loss. You feel like giving up. There are times I've had to leave my own personal challenges to attend to other people, you see, but they don't understand, and you feel like giving up. So giving up is something that has been really I think every entrepreneur would always go through those times, those tough times where you'd feel like, no, I'm not even good enough. No, I should stop this. What am I doing here? But persistence, positivity, consistency, and it's your vision, like I always say. If you don't do it, no other person would. You have the blueprint. So you have to keep pressing on till the best comes out.
Awesome. Sounds interesting, right? So keep pushing on until the best comes out. Yeah. So let's talk about, let's get back to your brand. So are you an advocate for gender equality?
Yeah. Mm. I'm an advocate for gender equality, and I'm an advocate for women understanding femininity and expressing it rightly.
Mm. All right. So what's the difference between gender equity and gender equalities? Because I saw, a video feed, trying to explain, the differences between both of them.
Mhm. So equality is giving us equal rights and privileges to anything in terms of politics, in terms of the society, in terms of in the community. Okay, for example, if a woman wants to become, let's say, a plumber, society would not tell her that you're a woman. You shouldn't. If a woman wants to become an engineer, society would not tell her that you're a woman. You shouldn't. Okay, and also they usually feel like women are at the losing end when they get married, and always support the men, you see. So equality is just giving us equal rights and privileges, while equity is providing equal resources for both the man and the woman. Now, about my organization, like I said, understanding femininity and expressing it rightly, a lot of women have misconstrued the aspect of empowerment. Empowerment is not a fight against a man. Empowerment is for you to become better. It's for you to challenge stereotypes. It's for you to break limitations. It's for you to understand that you are a human. You can become and you can do whatever. It is never a fight against the man. So if you are in probably unruly competition, on couch competition with men in the name of women empowerment, that is not women empowerment. You are, in fact, you are a woman. You are a woman in war. You're not an empowered woman. Okay, you're rather fighting for nothing. You see, I don't even believe that what a man can do, a woman can do better. I think what a man can do with a good woman, they can do better. This journey is for us to complement and not for us to compete. So why are they fighting? If you think as a woman you need to defeat a man to express your power, then you're very weak. You have not understood that you're powerful. You don't need to fight anybody to express your power. You're already created with a lot of potentials. You're a woman, you're a helper. All you need to do is to self develop. All you need to do is to get educated. You need to get the right knowledge and you need to put it into use to help the generations and the people God has sent you to. So that is my own perspective.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for educating us on that. Right. So let's talk about, a lot of people used to, misunderstood, when it comes to women empowerment and all that. So they feel like it's women supporting women for everything. And,
Nah.
so a lot of people used to misunderstood that. So thank you for the clarity. So let's talk about, why we have fewer women, in the leadership role. Is it that, there is still gender equalities, coming up, or women are not ready to, to get to the top of the leadership role itself?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, some women have let themselves to be relegated to the backstage. In their minds, they are too small. too small. That's why most of them would voluntarily leave college or voluntarily settle with a man and start giving birth to his children and don't want to do anything with their life. Now, I'm not saying being a housewife is not a job, okay, or it's not something with it's not demanding. No, I'm talking about most of these ladies who just they just throw themselves on a platter of death. They want to be with a man, and even if he's not married to you, you just abandon yourself, you abandon everything about you, including your education, and you decide to become a betting machine. Now, if a woman understands that she's invaluable, if she understands that she is much more than what society has judged her to be, I think people would respect her for that. You see, now I'm not talking about being arrogant. I'm talking about being confident. Confidence is understanding your worth, and it comes with humility, not stupidity or timidity. That's the first thing. Most women have let themselves to be relegated to the backstage. They are so afraid and they don't want to take on leadership roles, just maybe because of the fear that if I become better, maybe men will run away from me and so on. I don't even want to come to that. And I also think that we are attaining gender equality, especially in the developed societies. I think we are getting there, and even in the less developed societies nowadays. But the question is, would this be balanced? Because we are so focused on women empowerment, I hope we are not throwing the men under the table. I hope the men are also empowered. I hope they're not being thrown, they're not being neglected. Because if we finally get to a world where women are so empowered, giving so much power, and these men are not empowered, do you think we'll be in a balanced world? The boy child also needs to be empowered. So I even doubt the theory of gender equality. I doubt we are ever going to attain it.
Mm. So to you, what can be done? So what are some, gender equalities that people overlook in society?
Okay, one thing that is killing our world is we react a lot to situations. Okay, react a lot to situations and we ignore the aspect of balance. I understand that we cannot really get equilibrium, but I also think that in as much as the women are being empowered, though in some societies there is still this stereotypic behavior of throwing women under the bus and thinking that their place is in the kitchen. But a lot of people are putting in effort. As the women are being empowered and are being encouraged to be leaders, the boy child should also be encouraged to be responsible men, to collaborate with the women for societal impact.
Okay. Okay. So what's your leadership role? What's your leadership style when it comes to leading?
My leadership, I'm a servant leader. That's the first thing. I'm also very democratic. Most times we need to let the people's choices win. And I'm a servant leader. I lead by example. And what's this other word? This kind of leader. I've forgotten the other type of leader. But most importantly, I'm a servant leader.
Okay. All right, that's nice. Your leadership style is so impressive, right? So let's talk about women in the society when it comes to child abuse for women, right? So
Mm-hmm.
as advocate, right, what can be done? Because we've seen a lot of things happening in the society. When it comes to child abuse, people maltreating ladies and all that, baby mamas without responsibilities and all that. So what can be done, to reduce all this, societal cost?
Wait, are you saying like women abusing children?
No, what I mean is that neglect, women neglect, when it comes to girls neglect, you know, in terms of people taking roles, for their actions when it comes to women.
Oh, okay. Well, A lot of people say they are doing women empowerment and they give them gifts. Okay. They provide opportunities, but they don't train these women to be prepared for these opportunities. Now, we don't just do the intellectual empowerment, we should also try the moral empowerment and every aspect of empowerment. I feel like more women should be raised. Those who have started, who have women arms with right motives, should be encouraged. More women, not only farmers, because the women empowerment these people usually do these days is they give items to farmers, to agriculturalists. They just go to rural women and maybe they give them parts, things for their children and so on. Let's try sustainable development in terms of moral aspects, building their minds, educating them, providing sustainable structures for these women. Okay, that will indeed keep them empowered over a long period of time.
Okay, so let's talk about your brand. So what kind of empowerment do you give people or women who come to you for support?
GWI is out for moral emancipation, spiritual upliftment. We also do skill training, educative sessions, and we are looking forward to do financial empowerment as we grow. So it's about empowering women and young girls to be relevant in their communities. Like our upcoming program on 26, 27, we'll be visiting the female inmates at the Kumba Principal Prison, where we are going to have educative sessions with them, skill training, encourage them, restore hope as the objective of the program, because the program is titled Refresh. And after that, we are going to give them gifts. Now, I don't just believe that gifts are enough. That's why I always inculcate other sessions in my programs.
Okay. All right. So what kind of advice would you give to young girls who feel they are less privileged to take a lot of things, or to go beyond their limits? What kind of advice will you give to them?
Where you were born, how you were born, and who gave birth to you does not determine why you were born. The fact that you were born in a manger doesn't make you a cow. The fact that you were born in a garage doesn't make you a car. There is so much in you that the Lord has input and He wants you to manifest because the world awaits your manifestation. So, girl, rise up. Start even in that small community. Start doing something. Know you are wonderfully made and you can become and do whatever you set your heart to. Do not be limited by your present circumstances. That's the advice.
Sounds so impressive, right? So do not be limited, right? So let's talk about your upcoming event. Where can people get to meet you? Are there any tickets? Are there any things that are required for people to to attend your event?
Okay, it's titled Refresh. It's on the 26th and 27th of July. And the 26th, Refresh is about rejuvenation. Young girls come together to teach, learn, relax, inspire one another, and pray together. And the testimonies over the years has been amazing. This is a third edition, so on day one we'll be at a guest house here in Kumba, and we'll share together, inspire one another, cry together, learn. We'll also have skill training and an educative session. And on day two, we'll be at the Kumba Principal Prison with the inmates and do the same program and share with them. So you can always get to my inbox. I don't know if it's okay for me to say my WhatsApp number. Yeah, you can get to my inbox. Registration fee is just 3,000 francs, and you can always get to my inbox to join me.
Awesome. Right. It's going to be shared, on the comment section, so they'll get it from there. Right. So let's talk
Okay.
about your advice to entrepreneurs. So what advice would you give to entrepreneurs who are just starting or looking forward to, you know, to your footstep?
Okay, my advice to you is the vision, you will not have every piece of it from the beginning. The fear of the unknown will be there. You would have naysayers when you want to begin. You'll have a lot of people who would think that you would not amount to anything. And you would also have those people who would encourage you. Focus on the positive and just start. When you start, you as time goes on, the vision will become clearer, the steps will become clearer, and as you accomplish little nuggets, trust me, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot, and you will definitely get to the bigger picture.
Yeah, thank you so much. Right. So finally, let's talk about, you know, the legacy you would like to leave behind. So what legacy would you like to leave behind?
Hmm. Well, I would love to leave. I wouldn't want to write my name on the sands of time. I'd want to imprint my name on the stones of the earth. I would want that when I'm being mentioned, my name would be an inspiration to any young girl who has been discouraged by her circumstances to kickstart and to continue till they become good and even better at what they are doing. I would want to have women who have been raised for true transformation to the glory of God. Yeah, that's the kind of legacy I want to leave. Systems built human human system, not just physical structures. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing, your amazing insights, your journey, and also educating us when it comes to gender equality, right? So, do you have anything that you like to share that you feel like people need to know when it comes to, business, gender equality, or anything?
No, 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 no. I think I've answered my questions and I said all of that.
All right, all right. So, thank you so much. Right? So, thanks so much for sharing your journey. When it comes to entrepreneurship and gender equality. We are so very privileged to have you. It's been back and front.
Thank you
you
so
know,
much, Bayo. Thank you for having me.
yeah, thank you so much. I look forward to having you and seeing you talk about gender equalities at the top.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much for this episode. Stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, and we'll be back again for the next episode. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, bye.